Bienvenidos amigos, Buenos Aires. Y hoy nos vemos caminar a la Obelisco y otros. No quiero hacer las cosas de turismo, pero es muy interesante el Obelisco. And as you can tell, the Spanish is quite horrendous, but you do what you must. So, yeah, the flight was horrible on the way in. Generally couldn't get any sleep. Was sandwiched between an Argentinian couple. Very tired on the window seat, but it was cool to see Bogota today. But this won't be long. This will be a quick, or maybe I'll extend it. It is very bright out, but it's only 6, which is actually an excellent feature. And it is going to rain today. It's the ever unfortunate dynamic. But it's been very enjoyable. The climate's great. T-shirt weather at 6 a.m. when it's just above freezing in the Washington DC. Incredible. I'll say the smallest observation is how kids wear white jackets everywhere. I'm not sure how much of that is a thing versus more broad. It is somewhat charming. Also, that's the only interesting observation. Everything else is kind of, anybody else would say, the bus system, very impressive. I won't get to it, but the big criteria. Big metro system. It's a very impressive set of bus infrastructure that the US just doesn't have. It's very cool. It's also very cool to see just a huge line of people waiting for the bus. Because again, just don't see that in the US. Bus stops are cleanly marked. It's small things like that. Stand up. Now the one really touristy thing I got up to, of course, so for the Sube card, to register as a tourist, you need to go to one of the actual centros de Sube. There's pretty much 2, both at big metro stations. And I went to the one that worked out pretty well. But so the difference isn't big, but it is a difference. So it's more so the principle plus an excuse to walk to Teatro or wherever. Of course, you can tell it is very much the business districts in that area. Which could be less interesting. Nevertheless, is interesting. Probably should cross at some point. Just wander down the center. But yeah. So yeah, so I got the one SD for all 7 days. I don't plan on doing a lot of films. I think La Plaza will be one. Plaza. Yeah, other than that, nothing strongly comes out. I was wanting to film. We'll see. But I don't know. So a pleasant ambiance, you know. I will say it is probably somewhat like a gambling thing to have your phone out, but is there the same way like every flight you take? There's probably some probabilistic risk of getting your thing stolen, but you know. Do what you can. Yeah. Hair's messed up per usual. Yeah. I'm not gonna get a good angle from there. But SL Obelisco. Yeah, I'm not sure how much language localization Google does versus other guys. Okay, so I'm not going to be filming a lot, so I may as well try to use up the SD card. So we can try to... We can go all the way to... That's kind of stupid. But we can try to go all the way to Las Malvinas Memorial. And that'll be a full day for 1 hour. And then take the bus to oh, look at that. It is funny to see the ads that are here. There'll be some, I guess you can kind of see it around there. There'll be some super, maybe like Montoya? Like a mix of a Wendy's and McDonald's. fries aren't that big, but it's probably a good thing. That's the case. Yeah, so you're here. Teatro Cologne, and then nice park by Malvinas. So I guess the Washington Monument is taller. Although I suspect this is older. Give it just a good shot. The Washington Monument would have been built. Antes. Interessante. Yeah, I love how there's a McCoya around yonder. It's very nice. Yeah. I'm very allergic to buying stuff in this part of the city. So what I've done conceptually is just found a nice bakery spot. Should be like 70 cents a pastry, like a good starchy pastry. Very nice. However, yesterday I didn't have cash, so I probably overpaid moderately. But this time we learned lesson, and will not overpay. Should be great. Do that. I'll take the bus. And the annoying thing is, you have to go into a station, or you have to go into a store to top up the Sube card. I haven't had a need to do that just yet, so. But practically speaking, it is just a function of at the airport, go through customs. Yes, of course you have to go through customs to get to the stores, but you go through customs. You go to the 25 Horas store. And then you struggle to speak Spanish. The guy says in English, you say, "Sí." And then it's good to go. As it should be. Again. It is a fun dynamic to be completely oblivious and useless and dumb. Because presumably in your everyday life, that's not the case. So, yeah. That's divertido in that sense. Yeah. So I can't tell if it's because the city is just very European, ethnically and all that. I have a hard time figuring out really was not like a college crowd per se, in that sense. Such a shit. Not like a college crowd. So it's not all obvious how I had to go out of my way to go into the business districts to get to see some Yanks, Veo, unas Yankees. So, but again, yeah, my Spanish is it's truly horrible. It is. I thought I started at least the basics of like donde es los colectivos at the airport. I got I think that was really important to take the bus. So I'll make a blog post. So I made a brief blog post for San Francisco. It won't be like it's not gonna be like Chris Arnaud stuff, where it's actually well produced and production value and all that. It'll be a much lower bar. But this is a cool feature. The Malvinas stuff is actually an impressive feature. It does stick out. And honestly, I respect it. Yeah, it is noticeable. In a good way. It is just a interesting feature of the city. Sorry to tomorrow. But again, that's like a cool feature. De la ciudad. So, okay. Yeah, who cares? It's fun to play all tourists. Maybe accent does matter in Spanish. Because when it comes to English, I can, if it's bad English, at least in my experience, if it's bad English, but the grammar's right, I can still follow it. Oh, this is a cool shot. Cool central view. You know, David, since we also go all the way to the big metro stop, shouldn't we? We're all the way over here. But look at that. That's a cool. Cool panoramic. Right there. There are reminders that this was the, ex richest city at some point at the turn of the century. And there are reminders of that. But I don't know. I can get behind me if Peronism is BRT. If Peronism is bus rapid transit and good vibes and nice climate, I'll get behind that any and every day. Yeah. Oh, it's a cool spot. Now I will say it is like you can. It's just a charming city, and just like there's like a big El Cid Comprador, who of course is a big Spanish figure. So it is interesting to see like the interplay of Spanish. But I'm not too worried about getting the phone nabbed, but I do worry when there's motorcycles sounds, because if anybody's gonna nab me, it's gonna be that. And it would generally suck. Like, I have a backup phone, but it doesn't have. I would lose everything, material, if my stuff did get nabbed. So let's not get nabbed. But very charming city. I will say, I have disavowed this area, but given that it is so nice, I might have to do another walk at some point down the main alley. But dudes, muchachos, this is just. Now it says 60, but it feels 70. I really wish I didn't have my jacket. So I need to take it off. Especially get the sun. I'm only here for a week, so I might get hair gel, but I'm not gonna get sunscreen. Which is, if I'm being honest, probably a very Argentinian thing to do. Probably. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go all the way to the metro. That's the plan. Do a big, we'll basically walk what I walked yesterday. Dude, it looks cool. What more can you say? Yeah, I may as well play El Turismo one day. But despite my pretentious reflexivity against that. Enjoy the sun in your eye. Yeah, that is the plan. Oh, the sprinklers. Yeah, apparently today's a national holiday where it's not the day it's observed. I think Monday. Some of the things were like, it's a holiday for not winning, but successful, vigorous defense against a British and French naval incursion. But successfully fended off. I fended off because like the article said that the British and French did win. It was like classic. It's not worth your while, buddy. Setup. So. I'm not sure how it's going to affect things on. Yeah, I think tomorrow I want to take. I think Saturday is the day to figure out how to get to De La Plata. Spend the day there. Which actually seems like quite a nice city. I feel like that. An almost perfect grid layout. Because it was a planned city in that sense. So that's planned Saturday. I have ideas of a plan. I have concepts of a plan. To quote the good man Donald Trump. If you have concepts of a plan, that'll be Saturday. Sunday, so I took the local bus, the local colectivo. Oh, that's gonna be my bit. My bit is gonna be, which I'm trying not to do, but the limited Spanish I have, and oblivious to my horrible pronunciation. The bit just using the Spanish word when I can. So I'm trying not to do that. Because it is a bit pretentious. And I have no idea what I'm doing. But do what you must. Do what you can. But that is this one. But what is this? Enzo? What is Enzo up to? But took the local bus, so yeah, flex Spanish a bit. Donde es el colectivo? So the colectivo is down the side. You have to cross the street to get to the bus stop, which makes sense. And I want to take the local bus because I got there at 6. Check out Inmigración was there I go in Spanish. Immigration was very fast. And that's a nice feature, showing the yellow light to tee it up. That's what I call innovation, dude. So charming. But that's genuinely a incredible feature right there. Play tourist in the street. Are you blind? Big bus wall. Very cool. Now Argentina has not figured out the issue of blocking the intersection, unfortunately. Still advancements to be had there, but dude, es la vida, no? Look at that. That's just cool, man. 1 bus, 2 bus, 3 bus, 4 bus. Is that enough? That's cool. 5 buses. Bus 6. Dude. 7, 8. 9. 11, 12, 13. 14. This is cool, man. The US could never have that type of bus infrastructure. Right there, man. Could not and would not. Part of it's probably a demand issue, but it's all no, this is another cool feature. I don't know why, but the doors just in Argentina, you've got the mini doors. It's also very charming. So yeah, but the local bus. So it was the local bus. And the guy asked for help, because the bus it's not obvious if it's an express bus or a local bus. I couldn't tell the difference. Not give us a sign. And he said, and so he was a bit surprised I took the local bus, but tengo tiempo, I've got the time. I have time. So, okay. We took the local bus. So it was pretty empty. Of course, nobody else was. Right, to show how trendy I am, right? Of course, no other tourists are taking the bus. Yeah, this is the place. Yeah, nostalgia. So, yeah, like, yeah, I think it's kind of overrated. If I'm being honest. Empirically speaking. Chicken sandwich. That's good. I haven't tried McDonald's yet. I do want to try McPollo at some point. Oh, it is just a McChicken, isn't it? McPollo. McChicken. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, not as fun. That's the case. Okay. Cool boulevards. Yeah. I will say the part town I'm in, kind of like a couple of, it's a distressing trend of of homeless being outside the places I tend to be at. Horrible thing. But yeah, just yeah, it's a horrible trend. Another interesting feature, I didn't film it just now, was that the security guards are virtual at some places, which is an interesting feature, which I enjoy and find charming. But yeah, but dude, on a local bus, like, so it didn't get busy until you got into like, I forget the neighborhood. Really want to look up on maps. That's the only. Dog doing that so fast. Yeah, Mate. Okay, finish the local Colectivo store. It's a local bus. Didn't get very packed, but I had to find backpack. I was kind of stuck. Yeah. And a lady was sitting next to me, so my bad. So I had bad practice on my part. But I don't know, this was cool. So it's a local bus, and I complain about Maryland buses having shorts and two stops in too short proximity. I think here is guilty of that as well. If that's a crime or not. But it was cool to see how people actually use it. Again, like the lines are real. You know? And dude, like the traffic does get bad here. El Tráfico does get bad. Like at the Mastoya, you get a nice view all the way in to one of the big intersections. And you can see how they get backed up. So we're at the good old intersection block and see buses weave in and out. It's cool. But so yeah, you know, the point is, of course there's problems. And some of the parts the local bus went through were tougher parts. You can tell like there was a big fire. One of those spots at a mattress store. But look at those, dude. The buses are real, man. I haven't tried a subway yet. I do think I would prefer the bus, just because I'm not that time sensitive. And it is nice to see the city. Little city. That's a good city. Vamos Ver. Vamos Ver. I feel like I'm violating grammar. Would I get that way? Just the contrast of like more run down apartment buildings. Very nice apartment building. It has a bank branch on it. Very cool, man. Very cool. Now, am I supposed to cross? I guess there. Over spectacles. Dude, that is cool, dude. 1 bus, 2 bus, 3 bus. Dude. I know some guys are like train guys, other guys are like the public transit autist joke, you know. But dude, there's something about a bus, man. A good bus, you know. The bus drivers do go very fast, which on skinner streets can be a bit concerning, but it works. Okay, let's figure out where we're going. As you can see, it's only 7:16, but it feels great. Okay. So I do want to get to. Okay. So we're going to. The main street, Carlos Pellegrini. Leave the main street. Let's make a little detour. Down. Actually, yeah, we can double. We can do a little block. We can do a little. I just want to see the different international brands out here. I saw a DD store. It's cool. Citibank, Industrial Commercial Bank of China has a. Yeah, as soon as you get to the airport, dude, they have sponsorships on the connection. So, interessante. Iberia, British Airways. But I guess the British is. The British part's kind of scratched out. But. Dude. I don't know, man. Good luck. But, so this is a local bus. So there's some bad neighborhoods, you could tell, but again, like where you would go, you would see like kids walking on their own, you know. And if kids are walking on their own, to me that's a pretty good sign that it is a good to go location. If only. Yeah, if there's little kids walking around, or women walking on their own, that's a good sign. Of course, the edgy comedian joke would be because there's somebody else to go for. But practically, it does mean that, people will go where it's safe, and it's fine. This was everything. It is 7 a.m. and it is possibly a national holiday. Yeah, again, I made a joke in Philadelphia, and it works in every city, right? But the type of person that commits crime is probably not the type of person who has a well-adjusted sleep schedule, So, it's the little observations, am I right? Yeah, so I might skip lunch because it's going to start raining at 10. It seems like. Oh, go look at that. Police station. It would actually be a good vocab exercise to walk around when you see something, just say it out loud. Like marble, tree, kosa, thing. So yeah, everything's a kosa, turns out. But we have a need like this. I know. You think of your... Actually, this shows duality perfectly, right? You have less interested in more modern, and then you have really old school, what you think Parisian high-rise or mid-rise looks like. Very cool. Boy. Never fun. Incredible.